Okay, good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order on Tuesday, August 25th, 2026 at 7:30 PM. If we can go around for a quick introduction, I'm Paul Zolpa, First Selectman.
I'm Karen Reddington Hughes, Selectman.
I'm Richard Coates, Selectman.
And welcome to our first hybrid meeting in a long time. So if everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we'll start with the first selectman's report. Rather long one today. So starting with ambulance activity, July was a busy month for the Woodbury Ambulance Association. They had 106 calls for service, a slight increase from the 103 in June. Dedicated members continue to provide compassionate, reliable emergency medical care to the community wherever needed. The police department handled 326 calls for service during the month of July. Activity included 165 officer-initiated actions, 80 patrol checks, 31 citizen assists, 16 debris, 12 suspicious incidents, 38 medical assists, 14 automobile crashes, one operating under the influence, one domestic incident, one motor vehicle theft, and one larceny. Officers also conducted 81 traffic stops during the month. Detailed monthly reports are available on the town website. The fire department handled 33 dispatches during the month of July, including 2 fire incidents, 15 hazardous situations, 4 public service calls, and 12 non-emergency responses. Year to date, the department continues to provide critical emergency services to our community, and we thank our volunteer firefighters for their dedication and service. Last week at approximately 3:30 a.m., a major structure fire occurred on Upper Grassy Road. Fortunately, there were no injuries, although the home was a total loss. I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to the members of the Woodbury Fire Department for their outstanding response, as well as the mutual aid provided by Roxbury, Southbury, Bethlehem, Washington, and Middlebury Fire Departments. Additional support was provided by Woodbury Ambulance, Roxbury Ambulance and Rehab, and Bethlehem Ambulance. We also appreciate the assistance of the Connecticut State Police Troop L and the American Red Cross, both of which were on scene to support the response and recovery efforts. Public Works was very busy through the month of August. During the period of August 3rd through August 24th, Public Works completed work on approximately 33 different roads and roadway locations throughout Woodbury, while focusing on storm response, roadway maintenance, drainage improvements, and seasonal mowing operations. Crews responded to multiple downed trees, road closures, and flooding concerns following the heavy rains on August 3rd, including emergency responses on Middle Road, Scuppo, Old Sherman Hill, Sherman Heights, Cowles Road, West Side Road, Hazel Plain, and other locations. Road repair and paving operations were completed on School Street, Whitley Road, Saw Pit, Transylvania, Upper Grassy, North 40, West Side Road, Elephant Rock Road, and additional road that utilized more than 70 tons of asphalt mix. And as I talked to Dave, that 70-ton was moved by hand. So that's a lot of stuff that our Public Works guys handled. Significant drainage improvements continued on Old Town Farm Road and Orchard Avenue, including replacement and installation of culverts, catch basins, and drainage pipe to address a long-term infrastructure need. Additional activities included grading washouts on Herds Hill and Mill, drainage inspections on Lower Sage and Quassapog, roadside brush and tree clearing, mowing operations across multiple trunk sections, park and trail maintenance, emergency responses requested by local law enforcement and Troop L. The department also addressed washout, sightline concerns, potholes, and minor facility issues, including a recycling dumpster fire last Saturday that resulted in minor damage. Despite periods of heavy rain, extreme heat, and staffing absences, crews remained productive while advancing both routine maintenance and critical infrastructure improvements across the town. One of the things that we've been getting a lot of concerns in the office have been around our parks. Since last month's discussion regarding overgrowth in several of the town's open space areas, we've identified actions that have now been completed. At Three Rivers Park, our new walking paths were created and cleaned, improving accessibility throughout the property. We've updated maintenance guidelines to the landscaping contractor to support the ongoing care of the open space areas. In addition, I held a meeting with Parks and Rec and Public Works to coordinate maintenance efforts and established a biweekly mowing schedule of those trails with mowing to occur every other Friday to help keep the walking paths accessible. While weather conditions may occasionally cause temporary delays, maintenance of the walking paths and surrounding areas continue to progress as planned. These improvements help ensure the town's open spaces remain safe, accessible, and enjoyable for residents. The Park and Rec Department. Woodbury Park and Rec is wrapping up a busy summer and preparing for a full lineup of fall program and events. Highlights include the July 8th Woodbury Celebrates America 250 event at Hollow Park, which brought together community organizations, historical reenactors, military vehicles, family activities, food, and live music, with the support of the Woodbury Junior Women's Club. The 2026 Summer Concert Series features 6 free concerts thanks to sponsors Newtown Savings Bank and Long Meadow Landscaping, with the final rescheduled performance by Lost Rebel set for tomorrow night. During National Parks and Rec Month, residents participated in the Parkopoly Challenge, encouraging exploration of local parks and trails, with a prize sponsored by the Hickory Stick Bookshop. The department currently is offering 25 active programs, recently distributed 20 free golf discs to promote the use of Woodbury's disc golf course. Upcoming activities include the 7th Puzzle Palooza on September 2nd, a new chair yoga for strength and mobility program beginning August 27th, and returning adult recreation offerings such as volleyball and open gym basketball. In addition, residents can now add the Park and Rec registration site directly to their phone's home screen for convenient one-tap access to programs and registration. Okay, so that's it for the departments. Next thing is the contract negotiations. We've reached a tentative agreement with the supervisors union yesterday. During negotiations, the lead custodian job description was reviewed, and it was recommended that revisions be made to better reflect the position's duties and responsibilities, and we'll have a revised description for review at our next Selectmen's meeting. Negotiations with the Administrative Assistance Union and the Public Works Union remain ongoing. Fiscal audit. Our auditors were on site last week, August 18th through 20th, conducting their year-end field work. Fiscal office has provided much of the requested documentation and continues to work with the auditors throughout the fieldwork process. 2 items remain outstanding: the capital assets from the fiscal office and compensated absences from personnel. And I know that personnel has already provided that. We're just waiting for feedback from the auditors. Final audit report is anticipated to be completed and presented in October. Next thing is capital projects. We can just pop up that chart. I just want to go through. Yeah. So one of the things I'll be doing going forward is once a month, probably in the second half of the month, we'll be going through and taking a look at some of the fiscal position of the town. It's something that we typically share with the Board of Finance, but I think sharing it with both selectmen is probably a good thing to get an idea of what's going on. So these are the projects that we have approved for fiscal year 26-27. 2 of these have been completed. The fire department has replaced the 3 garage doors at the Hotchkissville. I suggest going over there if you haven't been by there recently. Take a look. They really look good. They actually have looked like barn doors. It's really a nice look for that section of town. The other thing is in the senior center, all of the light cans in the community dining room have been replaced with LEDs. There were a number of them that were out. I noticed during one of our voting sessions that we actually had to move tables out because there was no light that could be seen over there because of the cans that are out. So that's been repaired. Our communication system has been installed. There was one thing that was up here. It says they're currently having issues with Frontier. That was actually resolved this afternoon. So they are hopeful they are going to be doing the switch in the next couple of days, and then they'll be programming and doing the full changeover probably in late September, early October at this point. But so that is actually moving just about on schedule. Our first payment is due by November 15th. The Three Rivers barn renovation, the exterior siding, plywood decking. So this is again trying to fix up for the facilities area. That's ongoing. We're targeting that completion in late spring. Old Town Hall renovations, they're on hold. Richard is working on a matching grant. The start date in early 2027. So we're waiting for the grant information before we start progressing on that. Our ERP system the contract was signed. We held a welcome call on 8/18. Today, we actually did the kickoff call for the general ledger portion of this. And we've set up a timeline and a schedule, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Our ADA compliant website, that contract was also signed, and where our first meeting is going to be on Thursday. So that will be progressing, and we're expecting that to be available in possible March or April. We'll know better once we have the kickoff call and we see what the timeline looks like. Fire department has ordered the 800 feet of hose. They come in from Canada. We're not really sure what's going to happen now because of the tariffs that are coming, but typically those hoses take upwards of 6 months. So even though they're on order, it's going to take a long time for that to come in. Let's see, land use, the Three Rivers corridor. We're starting to pay on the restoration grant match. That was $30,000. That activity is ongoing. The library flat roof, that was awarded last Board of Selectmen meeting, and we're targeting to start that on October 31st, pending the weather. The library renovations will also be happening in October with the stairwell and carpeting, and then the side door replacement will be done in early spring. The bandstand and the walkway, we're targeting October for that. That's going to be fixing strengthening the pillars, as well as some other repairs. The bandstand's a little shaky right now, so we're going to work on that. Hollow Pond improvements, that's on hold right now. We need to work on an RFP. Trash receptacles, we're ordering those in the early fall, and then they'll be delivered and put in the spring. The rec house roof replacement is on hold. Again, that's all tied in with the Old Town Hall renovations, waiting for that grant in January. Tasers, they'll be ordered in December for a January 2027. And then the Dodge Police, that's the replacement vehicle. That's been ordered. Vehicles got a very long turnaround time. It's expected in January. The shed and the concrete slab, we're holding on that right now. They're still in discussions, possibly O&G may be willing to donate some of that. The jet sander for the old truck 10, that's to be ordered, and we're expecting that in November. The 19-wheeler, I'm sorry, truck 9, the 10-wheeler, that has actually been ordered already. They were waiting on a delivery date for that. That's probably going to take about 6 months for that to come in. And the same thing on the F600. So basically, probably half of these things are in flight right now. So it's we're definitely progressing along with this. Okay, all right, we'll go to the next item. Thank you for that. Let's see, we were at capital projects. Okay, Route 6 corridor study. The final draft has been received. NVCOG is planning to present the Route 6 corridor study at the Board of Selectmen meeting, and they're going to be targeting September 8th for that presentation. If they have some issues with that, and they're pulling some data together, looking at some CAD drawings to try and update those. If they are not able to complete that, then we'll shoot for September 22nd meeting. But basically, it'll be covered in September. What we'll probably do is we'll clear most of the calendar for that. We'll take care of whatever immediate business we need to do, and then the rest of the time will be spent talking about the corridor study. The Route 317 lane departure warning project. That's adding rumble strips from Roxbury through to the Route 6 317 area. Milling and paving is going on now, and the rumble strips will be installed once the paving is complete. The Route 317 Transylvania intersection. Since May, the town has received numerous calls and concerns from residents regarding safety at the Route 317 Transylvania intersection following bridge repairs, particularly related to sightline issues. Town staff has made repeated attempts to contact CTDOT since that time, but have not received a response. To help advance the matter, I've asked Karen to assist by leveraging her state-level contacts, and I asked her to provide a very short update for us on the current status. You want to do it now, or you want to wait?
The current status is that DOT is looking into how to improve the sightline in that intersection, and it would involve perhaps taking down a tree, which would not be good for the neighbors because they really do not want that tree taken down. So they're examining other alternatives at this point, but they do not have a firm plan, I would say. There were some recommendations that, perhaps they would have the stop signs at either end of that bridge so that the traffic that is coming would not be going at such a speed that if somebody wasn't able to see correctly, that there would not be a great impact there. And the other suggestion, from the town initially was to put a mirror there, which I was told would absolutely be a bad idea because DOT is saying that that would only give people a false sense of security and it probably would cause more accidents than save people. So, that is the update that they gave me.
Great. So we'll stay on top of that activity. Our South Green land conveyance, the property conveyance remains in progress. CTDOT has completed the field survey work in the area, and they're currently preparing a release map for the town's review. Following completion of the map, the conveyance will advance through the statutory approval process required under Special Act 26-14. So we don't really have a solid date yet on this, but we're hoping that in the next several weeks that we will have this done. Keeping our fingers crossed, maybe by Veterans Day. Facilities update. We've done repairs to the front stoop. That was a safety issue at Old Town Hall. And then Titan Energy is working on the RFP for the town for the energy purchase agreement. On our technology side, town's transition to a .gov domain is being coordinated with the migration of a new website platform, and we'll be learning more about that come Thursday. The agreement with Civic Plus for the town's website redesign has been executed. Initial project kickoff meetings are scheduled for Thursday. By combining the website redesign with the .gov migration, the town is advancing a significant modernization initiative that will provide residents with a more secure, trusted, and user-friendly online experience. We've also moving to a town-wide technology assessment of municipal buildings, including network hardware reviews and system planning, and we're doing that with the Ad Hoc Technology Committee as well as Vancord. We're going to be doing that next Monday. So we're taking Monday afternoon and we're going to be going through all the buildings, taking a look at the infrastructure and getting a general idea of what's there, also building an inventory out on that. We're continuing discussions with outside IT providers and technology advisors. Next is ERP system. Planning for the replacement of the town's ERP system is in progress. The project kickoff meeting was held today, during which a timeline for financial module was established. Weekly project meetings will begin next week. Initial data files and a series of reports have been provided to support the implementation process, and we're on track for completion of a September 2027 date. This will actually be done in modules. We're expecting the financial piece of this probably to be done probably in around the May timeframe, and then shortly, while we're doing the UAT on that, they'll actually start working on the human resource portion of it, and then again targeting a September completion date. Several upcoming events to be aware of. The Fire Department Carnival is to take place September 3rd through the 5th from 6 to 10 at the Hollow Park. Attendees can enjoy rides, food, raffle prizes, and a fireworks display on Saturday evening. The 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony, this is the 25th anniversary of 9/11, will be held at 8:45 a.m. on Friday, September 11th at Hollow Park. The ceremony will honor the lives lost on September 11th, 2001, and pay tribute to the courage and sacrifice for first responders, service members, and all those affected by the events of that day. Glow Walk for Hope. The Recreation Department is introducing a new event this September. Glow Walk for Hope will be held on September 13th at 6 p.m. in the Hollow Park in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month. This free 1 mile evening glow walk is open to all ages, and we've invited Wellmore Behavioral Health to partner with us and share their expertise and resources related to mental health and suicide prevention. We're also going to be doing several other items in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month. Been working with ASAP, Jeff McKenna, to try and put some programs together. The library is scheduling a Narcan and another event, QPR event, I believe on September 15th. And there'll be some other events as we go through that. Oh, there's the next item, is the Narcan and QPR training. Also in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month, the Houstonic Valley Health District's public health nurses for Narcan and QPR training on September 15th from 6 to 7:30 at the Woodbury Public Library. The QRP mission is to reduce suicidal behaviors and save lives by providing innovative, practical, and proven suicide prevention training. Fall Fest is scheduled for September 20th, which is a Sunday from 11 to 4 at Hollow Park. The event will feature artisans and community vendors, food trucks, music, children's activities, a dog and pet costume contest, and more, and that's free admission. The Pomperaug Valley Garden Club Centennial is on October 10th. They will sponsor a Susan B. Shove hike and reenactment. Additional information, along with others planned part of their centennial celebration, can be found on the Woodbury Public Library website, as well as the Garden Club's website. Trunk or Treat returns to Hollow Park on October 31st from 6 to 8. The event is open to residents of Region 14 School District. Families attending are encouraged to bring a non-perishable food donation to help support the Community Service Council of Woodbury. And finally, the meet and greet schedule. Mark your calendars for upcoming coffee and conversation with the first selectman. Sessions at the Woodbury Public Library and Senior Center be held on Wednesday, October 21st from 5 to 6:30 at the Library Gallery. And the other one is Friday, November 6th at 1 to 3 p.m. at the Senior Center. As always, residents are encouraged to reach out to the first selectman's office at any time and do not need to wait for these sessions to connect. That is my report. Karen?
Well, I just received an email before I got here. So
Okay.
it was something that was really amazing to get, okay? And also amazing that we have such incredible people in our town too. Dear Representative Reddington Hughes, my name is Georgina Cornago, founder and executive director of the Love for Giovanni Foundation, a New York-based 501c3 organization created in memory of my 14-year-old son, Giovanni, who died from an anaphylactic reaction in 2013. Our mission is to prevent another family from experiencing this devastating and preventable loss through food allergy and anaphylaxis education, certified emergency response training, expanded access to epinephrine, and legislative advocacy. I am reaching out following the recent life-saving response by Woodbury Police Officer Mark DeFeo. On August 15th, a Woodbury resident experienced severe anaphylaxis after being stung multiple times by bees. A Connecticut state trooper was the first responder to arrive and immediately recognized that the man was in severe anaphylaxis. However, the trooper did not carry epinephrine and could only urgently request additional assistance. Officer DeFeo was able to save this man because his department gave him the training and life-saving medication he needed. Connecticut now has an opportunity to ensure that every officer responding to an anaphylaxis emergency is equally prepared. I would be grateful for the opportunity to work with you to respectfully ask whether you would be willing to lead this effort. With gratitude, Georgina Cornago.
Excellent. Very proud of Mark.
Yeah.
I did have a conversation with him after that, and I think we do a great job equipping our officers to be first responders, especially with the new AED devices, all brand new in their cars. Also, the first aid kits and such. So I think it's a great job.
Saved a life.
Yep, absolutely. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, Richard.
Nothing from me this month.
Okay. All right, next item is privilege of the floor. The Board of Selectmen will recognize citizens who are asked to state their name and address and to please limit comments to 3 minutes. 20 minutes of statements per topic will be allowed. All comments should be addressed to the first selectman and decorum will be enforced. Suzanne.
Suzanne Lovig, 78 Arrowhead Way, Woodbury. Regarding that tech review that you're going to be doing of all the public buildings, will that include the police station?
No, it will not. The reason why is the people that go into the police station need to be certified. And right now I believe there are only about 3 people in the town that are certified to go in there that are not police officers. And me being one, but
Because for public buildings, we did take a tour of that.
yes. But, we're gonna be in closets and such. So yes, I know a public building, that's probably something different. They probably cleaned everything up, but we're going in and looking at infrastructure and probably shouldn't be looking at the stuff that's in there. But I may do it on my own, and then we can report back. But I think I'm gonna respect that requirement for, certification
Okay, yeah, I was just concerned because they definitely have
issues.
issues.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Okay.
Abby Doyle, 35 Washington Road. I have a couple questions. Oh, no more than three. The first question is, with the awarding of the contract for Three Rivers to study what they can do to improve everything along the riverbanks, what will happen to the farm contracts? Are we going to be restricting ourselves to a 1-year contract until we get the results from this survey?
Yes.
Okay. Is that for all the farm contracts or just the Three Rivers?
There's one farm contract and it calls for all three sites. So it's all in one lease. There's no three separate leases. So
Falls is miles away from all the others.
Nottawag Falls.
There was a contract for Nottawag Falls up there.
Okay, that's news to me.
There was farmland that was on our side that was being farmed by a farmer.
Huh.
I don't know if they're still doing it, but there was.
Not to my knowledge. The only three that I know of is Stomsky Way,
Yeah.
Strong Preserve, and Three Rivers. That's all that's in that contract. Or the lease. I'm sorry, not the contract, the lease.
I'll share what I know after the meeting.
Excellent. Yeah.
On the other.
Yeah. And I did, by the way, just to complete the answer to that. So I did meet with Mike Logue last Friday, and I did have a conversation with him and said that that's still our intention to hold a 1-year lease until we see what the results are of that. And then we'll go back in and we'll start to revisit what exactly is in there. And he understood, and he said, based on whatever requirements for the riparian buffer. The other thing that we are having is the Conservation Commission did approach and say that they would like to change the riparian that's around the Nottawag River at Stomsky Way, because there's a couple of spots that are really close to the river. And what they'd like to do is they'd like to kind of extend it out. Now, they can't do what Inland Wetlands is asking for, which is basically a 200-foot buffer, because that would basically, he wouldn't be able to grow anything. He may have like one row of corn across there. So, they understand that that's probably not going to happen, but Jeff would like to see a little bit more room around there. So it's something that we'll talk to Conservation. We'll figure out what it is that they want to do, and then we'll approach Mike on that. And Mike is aware of that.
And my next question is, I know you talked about the strategic plan in the spring. Is the idea after we get through September to start talking about the strategic plan, the 5-year strategic plan that the Board of Selectmen is going to put forward to go with the budget that gets submitted in January?
My plan is to kick that off in September. We needed to get these other two projects up and running. Right. So yeah, I've actually started to look at, trying to refresh some of the things over there. But yes, we took our summer off and we'll jump back into it in September.
Yeah. And then my last question is, the corridor study has been brought back. What will that mean for the committee? Will you be asking the committee to reconvene?
Yes, absolutely. So yes, I'll probably invite the committee to come in when NVCOG comes in. They've also said that he will come in if they want to just have a corridor study alone, a conversation, then we can do that as well. So they're willing to do whatever we need.
And your next meeting is going to be hybrid, right?
Yes, our next meeting is going to be hybrid. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? That's your three?
I'll explain that to you. So, you'll understand.
Anyone else? Okay. Next item, correspondence. So I did get one letter from a resident. Said, as a resident of 35 Washington Road, I'm aware that speeding is a serious problem daily, not only cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Would you please have this addressed by the use of our troopers? It is becoming stressful as our building is quite near the road. The straightaway seems to entice the cycles, trucks, and race cars to speed with mufflers that don't work. The sounds are ear-splitting and feel as though they were coming through the building. In appreciation, Anna Hobson. So I will reach out to police department and ask them to take a look at that. And that is it for correspondence. Next item is minutes. Karen,
Hey, I'd like to move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 28th, 2026 as presented.
so moved. Any additions, corrections, modifications?
Yeah, there was a typo in the motion that talked about the website. But other than that trivial correction, I'm fine.
Okay, all right, we will get that one corrected. All right, anything else? All right, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay. Bid awards, there are none. Donations. All right, so the first one, I'd like to accept with gratitude a donation of $4,018.69 from the Connecticut Community Foundation in memory of Ingrid J. Martland to the Woodbury Public Library to be used for yearly purchases of books, backpacks, early literacy items for kindergartners in Region 14 public schools.
Second that motion.
All right, it's a very generous donation. Any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, next, we just want to acknowledge with gratitude a donation of $100 from Catherine Trevino to the Woodbury Public Library in memory of Dorothy Dibble to be used for library programs and enhancements. And also to acknowledge with gratitude a donation of $10 from Susan O'Hara to the Woodbury Public Library in memory of Betty Gurry to be used for library programs and enhancements. Okay, next one. Richard, you want to try that? Or you want to, I don't know if you got your stuff pulled up.
I actually don't, so why don't you do it without me?
Okay,
Okay.
very good. Karen,
To accept with gratitude a donation of $500 from the Women's Club of Woodbury to the Woodbury Public Library to be used for library programs and enhancements and special revenue. This donation will directly support the purchase of wooden violin for checkout through the Library of Things collection and a stainless steel burner for cooking demonstrations and other library programs.
second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
To acknowledge with gratitude a donation of $100 from Elaine Dinto to the Woodbury Public Library in memory of Betty Gurry to be used for library programs and enhancements with special revenue.
Go to the next one too.
To acknowledge with gratitude a donation of $50 from Lydia Soifer to the Woodbury Public Library to be used for library programs and enhancements with special revenue. Mrs. Soifer was so pleased with the technology assistance provided by Ron Fairchild that she made this donation in his honor. This is a directed donation to purchase USB fast charging blocks, charging cords, and related technology accessories. It was lovely.
That was very nice. And Ron's been doing a great job with the technology portion, helping out the residents. Okay, next item, I'd like to move to accept the resignation of Ted Teets as a regular member of the Zoning Commission effective August 11th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Okay, all right, I'd like to read two items here. First one is his letter of resignation, and then I'd like to follow that with some comments. So, dear Mr. Zolpa and Mr. Amatruda, I can no longer choose to stay on as a board member of the Zoning Commission due to reoccurring bad health. Thanks for putting up with me all these years. We are very lucky to have and kept a unique town all through the pressures of outside of our town. I got on the Zoning Commission when I saw the average guy got pushed aside. Not everyone coming before the commission was giving the same guidance and opportunities. I know it happened to me more than once, as noted in the Zoning and Planning Commission minutes of March 24th, 1969. The commission should help the person in front of them do right and understand the regulations. So when there was an opening, I ran for election and got on to promote and honor honesty and to do the best for the applicant. My aim before every meeting was to be fair, be honest, and use common sense. I think all of our boards and commissions are doing great today. We work together. People and commissioners see each other's side and try to come to a positive outcome. I love this town. Keep up the good work. Respectfully, from April 1971 to August 2026, Theodore Teets, Zoning Commission Board Member. And my comments, so I read this to the Zoning Commission when Ted first put this his resignation letter in. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank a truly remarkable public servant, Ted Teets, who has announced his retirement from the Woodbury Zoning Commission. Ted was first elected to the Zoning Commission in April of 1971. Over the past 55 years and 4 months, or approximately 660 months, he has dedicated himself to serving the town of Woodbury with unwavering commitment. Assuming attendance at every regularly scheduled meeting, Ted has participated in roughly 1,300 Zoning Commission meetings, an extraordinary record of public service. What makes that accomplishment even more remarkable is that Woodbury zoning regulations trace their origins to 1969. In many ways, Ted has been part of the zoning process almost from the very beginning. He has helped shape and guide land use decisions through generations of change in our community. In his retirement letter, Ted wrote that he ran for the commission to promote and honor honesty and to do the best for the applicant. He stated that his goal was always to be fair, honest, use common sense, and help the person in front of the commission do right and understand the regulations. Those words perfectly capture the approach Ted brought to every meeting and every application that came before the commission. He treated applicants with respect, worked hard to understand every issue, and always sought to balance the interests of individual property owners with the best interests of the town as a whole. Over more than 5 decades of service, Ted has earned the respect of fellow commissioners, town staff, applicants, and residents alike. His institutional knowledge, thoughtful judgment, and steady presence will be greatly missed. On behalf of the town of Woodbury, I want to express our sincere gratitude for Ted's outstanding service and dedication. We thank him for his many, many years of commitment to our community and I wish him all the best in his well-earned retirement. Please join me in thanking Ted Teets for 55 years of exceptional service to the town of Woodbury. Be sorely missed. I remember back in when my wife was on zoning, I'd be over talking to Ted and sitting in his garage behind his house and talking about old fire trucks and stuff. This is a great guy. So it'll be sorely missed. All right. So we had a motion on the floor to accept his resignation. Any other comments?
Just a huge thank you to him because we can only hope that our future volunteers will even hold a candle to what he said.
Yep, exactly.
I will reluctantly second the motion because we will sorely miss him.
All right. Okay, all those in favor of accepting resignation? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, next, I'd like to move to accept the appointment of Lynn Dillon as a regular member of the Planning Commission effective August 25th, 2026, with a term expiring December 1st, 2029.
I'll second that.
Okay. So this came in actually over the weekend, and I spoke with Mary Connolly and provided Lynn's application as well as her resume. And Mary basically said Lynn has a very impressive resume, sounds like a great fit for planning. I support her appointment. Also reached out to the Republican Town Committee, since this is a Republican seat, and the Republican Town Committee, the Candidate Recruitment Commission basically unanimously endorsed her moving forward as well. So I think this is a great fit. I've known Lynn. Lynn lives up the street from me. I've known Lynn for at least the last 10 to 12 years. We've had many dinners together. She's a great person. I think she's going to be a great fit. First time she's ever volunteering to do anything within the town. So I think it's more than welcome to have fresh eyes and new blood. All right. Any other comments, discussions, questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Excellent. Next. Personnel report. I'd like to invite our personnel administrator, Ray Lagasse, to give us our personnel report.
Good evening, everyone. The period of this report is from July 28th, the last Board of Selectmen meeting, to this evening. The first part of the report is positions that are currently in recruitment. So positions that we are advertising for, and there is one up on the website right now, and that is the part-time assistant animal control officer. We've received several resumes for this position. But very few applicants have experience as an assistant animal control officer. So I've asked our animal control officer here in town to have a discussion with me, and we're going to come up with a plan of how we're going to move forward for this position. The second portion of the report is positions that we have in process. So that means that they're either being advertised or not, but they're being worked. And this is a very busy section of the report. The first position is a full-time IT technician coordinator. The position has closed out now. We received 6 applications. Those applications have been reviewed, and based on the findings, we're going to go do a little bit more research, and I think we're going to go back out and expand our search and invite some additional applications to come in. The next position is the full-time lead custodian. We received 7 applications. Those applications have been reviewed, and next step in our process is to invite those applicants that have been selected for face-to-face interviews. Next position is a part-time custodian. We have 2 positions open currently right now because of a retirement and a resignation. We received 8 applications. All applications have been reviewed, and we've scheduled face-to-face interviews for Thursday of this week. Next position is a full-time equipment operator 3 in our Public Works Department. Position is closed. We've received 12 applications. The Public Works Director has reviewed the applications and forwarded me the results, and I'm going to schedule face-to-face interviews for those applicants that have been selected. The next the next position is a part-time library circulation assistant. We've received 2 applications for that position. One of the applicants has been selected, and we offered today the position to the applicant, and the applicant accepted that. So we'll be working on a start date for this applicant. The next portion of the report is any hiring activity, open offers. We don't have any out there right now. And then the second portion of this area is offers that were accepted. So since the last Board of Selectmen meeting, we've hired a part-time custodian. He started August 10th, and his name is Jason, and Jason has been working out very well for the town, getting a lot of good praises. The second person is a full-time police officer. So we had offered a conditional employment to a police officer. Our police officers go through a very thorough background check. It usually takes about 2 to 3 months. One background check came back very recently, last week. We offered the position to this police officer, and yesterday he accepted. So he will be our sixth full-time police officer in town, and we are working on a start date for him. And then the other position is a full-time police officer. We have an ongoing background check for this individual, and we're hoping by the end of the week, we're hearing this background check will be completed. We'll review that background check, and based on the findings of that, we will press forth with the next process. And then finally, in the additional notes comments, we've received a request to hire a clerk for the Board of Finance. So the town will begin working on this process and advertising for a clerk. That is all I have for you this evening. I'm open to any questions.
Just one quick question on the IT technician coordinator. The applications that were reviewed and now you're expanding the search. Is there something that you feel in the job description itself that could be improved so that you would weed out some of the people that perhaps are not really qualified for it?
Yes, so we're gonna look at the job description, but also the job posting and all that there.
Yeah,
To narrow, make our search a little clearer and all that there, to include salary. And, cause some of the applicants, based on what's been budgeted for the position. So we will, clarify all that and then go back out. So, yes.
So one of the things that we did do is the technology committee did go look at the job description on there and did comment, and we did actually include some of their updates in there actually before this went out. So I think the job description is good. I think what we need to do is, as Ray said, is this just was on our website. And so I think we need to actually expand that out to other areas. For example, possibly on the CCM website. We're looking at some technology related things, trying to avoid going into like an Indeed, because that will open up wide open for a large number of people. So I think as Ray said, I think we just need to target this. So we've got a couple of ideas, and then we're also reaching out to the technology committee to get some ideas if they have some other websites that they might think would be a good spot for that. Okay. Any other questions for Ray? I'm really pleased with the police officers and moving forward, and keeping our fingers crossed if we can get that last one will actually have a full contingent of police officers, probably for the first time in many years. Yes. So looking forward to that. Okay. Moving on to old business. First one is second read on the hybrid meeting policy. So this is basically to help guide our staff members as well as our boards and commissions with how to conduct a hybrid meeting and some of the technology things and such. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to read through this, and if you have any comments, suggestions, updates.
I just have a question on, let me just see what section it's in. The section 6, accessibility, under B, where it says that it will be retained and accessible to the public for a minimum of 45 days thereafter. My question is, will the voice recordings be retained longer than that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the voice is actually, they're probably going to follow our standards, right? Whatever the state library requires for retention. We've got a lot of space, and actually in Civic Plus we'll be actually being able to upload a lot of that stuff. So that will.
I think also on YouTube.
Yes.
Videos, so.
The videos on YouTube, the audio. So,
can understand like the videos and things, I mean, they take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
You know, but we've, you know, historically, we've had the recordings of the meetings.
Yeah.
So that if somebody wanted to access that and they wanted to hear something from a meeting a year ago or whatever, that they would still be able to do that.
yes. Yep, our intention is to continue that.
And my other question is in section 13 for the technical failures. If a meeting is unable to go on electronically, can someone take the minutes and resume with those in attendance?
As long as there's still a quorum.
Okay, all right.
That's the key, is in a
Yep.
quorum. Richard, anything from your side? Any questions?
No, I had a pretty thorough read through, but I couldn't find anything that was of concern to me. So
Okay.
I'm good.
Great. Okay, if I hear none more, then I take a motion to approve the hybrid meeting policy as written.
I will second that motion.
Awesome. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Excellent. Just on the side, we're the next major policy that we're going to be working on is AI. I've actually started to compose something, and I've actually got the Technology Council pulling some information together on that. So I think with that AI policy, that will complete the things that we need to do for our guides for our boards and commissions, because that's going to actually be a critical thing for us going forward. Okay, so the next item is to discuss the request for marked parking. So this was for the marked parking in front of Van Antique. I did send a note out to both Richard and Karen on Saturday. Basically, let me just read through this really quick. It says, one of my action items from the July meeting was to consult with town attorney regarding parking markings and the town's potential liability. Based on that discussion, if the town chooses to pursue this option, the state will require the town to execute an encroachment permit that includes a hold harmless provision. Under such an agreement, the town would assume full responsibility and liability for that section of pavement where the parking is installed. This would mean the town would be responsible for installing all pavement markings and signage. The town would assume all future maintenance and repair obligations for the affected area, including snow removal. Any defects such as potholes, pavement deterioration, or significant cracks would become the town's responsibility to address. And if an injury or an accident were to occur as a result of an unrepaired defect, the town could be held liable. I also contacted Kerma, and they said that this would actually need to be included in our insurance coverage. I'm not sure if that would affect the price. So that's basically my activity for the action item that I had from the last meeting. So, thoughts on moving forward with this or not?
I would not be in favor of moving forward.
Okay. Richard, your thoughts?
So we have some spaces that people are using as parking currently, like at the intersection with 317 there. So your interpretation is as long as we don't mark them and
Yes.
it's not our problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so basically, they're I guess the word probably is unsanctioned parking.
Yeah.
That basically is kind of what our town attorney said, is that as soon as we put marking on there, then it becomes a sanctioned, and then we have the liability to that. As long as we don't put the markings in, and we don't have the signs. If people want to park there, people can park there.
Well, we would also have to go through the state. So, I mean, it wouldn't be just that, well, we would have to first go through the state to be able to do that.
Right,
because then we would be taking ownership of it.
right,
Just as if we wanted to stripe things all around the green, or we wanted to stripe things that were on either side of Route 6, like where the church is, all of this would be the same, and all of it would be the town undertaking that liability.
right,
And also the responsibility of all of the snow removal and everything else associated with it.
right. So I believe, I support Karen, what you're saying. I don't think we should be taking the liability on, of this, at this point in time. I don't think we can afford it.
And
And-
we don't even have people that shovel the sidewalks right now.
Okay.
So I think that, we need to really look at getting the things under control that we need to before extending ourselves further.
Yep. So Richard, are you okay with, if we table this?
Yes, for the time being. We may want to keep it in mind when we're looking at the rest of the corridor study
Yep.
feedback we get. But looks like we're not going to move forward at the moment.
Yeah, and I have real concerns on that corridor study, if it does include any of this parking that we would then be taking on, from the state.
Yeah.
Because, that is a lot of maintenance.
Yep. And a lot of liability
Yep.
as well. So, okay. All right. So we'll do that. And, obviously just tabling it doesn't mean that it can't come back, in the future. Okay. New business, there is none. So, Richard from Scotland.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Awesome. All right, very good. So motion to adjourn, and the time is 8:27. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good night.
All right, good night.
Excellent. Print all that stuff out and the brain research. Thank you very much. You're a good man.
We could have new policies, as we got to go to conduct.